Yo, what's going on, guys? We're going to be taking a look at a platinum Wukong Jungle player. He is up against a Lee Sin. Not necessarily a great matchup. Lee Sin is considered a high tier. If you're playing Diamond and up, he's basically S tier. If you're playing below Diamond, he's kind of A tier, B tier. He's going to be really hard to solo when we're pre-6. He's also going to be really hard to fight if he lands our Q against us. It's going to be revealing us, making it very difficult for us to outplay with W. So whenever he goes to Q, if we can W in the opposite direction to where our clone soaks and tanks, then we'll probably take him. We got our ward down. I like it. The only thing I will say is a little bit risky of a ward spot. Something to keep in mind is sometimes people stack. Sometimes it will only be the top laner and the jungler. Sometimes it's their whole team. No one knows why. It just happens. But this area is kind of dangerous. So if you are going to ward it, it's a little bit greedy to fit in a back. A lot of the times when you see this tactic, because it is common, especially higher elo, whenever you see this, it's usually out of things like Graves, Kindred, typically champions who have a dash or something they can utilize to get away. And they normally go in to do it more around the 1 minute mark. But whenever you go in pre 1 minute or pre 105, you're running the risk of dying and bleeding first blood. Just keep that in mind. So I would say definitely do this later, or just pay attention to where the laners come from. You can really tell, especially if you're playing in platinum or lower, you can really tell where laners are, like where the jungler started based off of who gets to lane. Like I'll tell you where Lee Sin started this game. So you back, you get your sweeper. I'd honestly rather start blue buff, honestly. I'm not a huge fan of red buff. Start Wukong. I feel like his 5 camp clear off of blue side is much stronger. So it's my opinion. I've had much better results off blue side than red side. Plus, you would get double leash. You may want to mirror the Gwen. Maybe you feel like you beat her in fights, you beat her in ganks, which you probably do, actually. You're a little more versatile than she is. You got better dashes than she has. I definitely would have started with my bot for the better leash, personally. So, you know, Gwen starting over there because you have your ward. If you look at the... oh, yeah, I'm sorry, Lee Sin. So, yeah, Gwen was just keeping watch. That was kind of weird. But Gwen got there really early, so even if this wasn't warded, you would know that Lee Sin didn't start top side. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, you don't need to take this risk. If you are, do it around the 1 minute 105 mark and then just walk to your first buff. You don't have to fit in a recall. So yeah, you already know Lee Sin started bot side, probably on red buff. Lee Sin will typically do 5 camps or 4 camps. He'll do a 3 to 4 camp clear if he wants to invade you, which is kind of rare, or he'll just like 5 camp into gank scuttle or 5 camp scuttle gank. You're doing your raptors next. It's a lot harder when you start on red side. It's much harder. You put yourself in a tough spot. Whenever you have your Q, W, and E, taking raptors is a breeze. Your clone tanks it. It puts out crap load of damage. That's why I blew into Gromp. Like, Gromp gets you back to full health, so you take the easy leech into Gromp. You're already level 2 full health. Wolves, piece of cake, full HP, crossover, fast wraps, fast red. You'll be finished that 5 camp clear around 3 minute 10. You can push out, gank into scuttle. It's really easy. Wukong's a great 5 camp clear jungler. 2 camp clearing like this. So here's the thing. You already know Lee Sin started bot because you warded this, and we obviously saw Gwen got to lane super early. If Lee Sin is paying attention, he could clean out your blue side. So unless you're willing to invade him blind, because you have 0 wards anywhere on the map now, I wouldn't do this. This is just very risky. So you do get the kill. Luckily, it pans out. Since you get the kill, Vim didn't die. So it's actually kind of worth. You should just... like, she doesn't have TP, so I guess you guys should thin this out more. This is a bad spot for it to be in. Ideally, what would have happened is you guys would have held it here and left them with 1 more minion than you guys had, so the Riven could come back to wave and then have a tsunami waiting for her. That would have been ideal. So you should have helped a little bit more. Taken more, dude. So here's the thing, you're still over here. Lee Sin could already be on your blue buff by now if he's paying attention. That's the thing, man. You can still gank. You can still gank before scuttle. Just 5 camp clear, and to gank secure both buffs. 4 5 camp clear and to gank. This route you ran, it worked out, but when it doesn't work out, boy, it's painful. I assume you're gonna cheese ganker again, but Riven doesn't have TP, so you're in a weird spot now. You're going to be catching wave once again. You're showing yourself top before 315. Even more information to Lee Sin. Well, you haven't showed yourself quite yet, but Riven doesn't have TP, so this is gonna be a long wait. Oh, there's Lee Sin. Yo, what do you know? He's got your blue buff. You're gonna press tab at this point. You see he has 16 CS. You're gonna assume he took his red buff, obviously. You see he has red buff. 16 CS is 4 camps. Every camp, whether it's Scuttle or Raptors or red buff, gives 4 CS. So red, blue, that's 8. And then you assume you took Gromp, that's 12 plus 1 other. We would guess Raps or Golems. So you're in a tough spot, man. Even though you got a kill, Lee Sin. Ooh, I didn't know that's how that worked. To be honest, I don't really know what Rel does. No one picks that champ. Like, I know she has a lot of CC and she does like negative damage, but wow. So yep, he should probably get at least 1 Scuttle, if not double. We're chilling on 12 CS right now. We're going mid. We don't have to take the last hits, but we should definitely soak some of the XP here. You're going for top Scuttle, that's fine. Just keep a close eye on your top lane when you're going for this. You hit the thing, you can't fight him. Fighting things like Lee Sin or Warwick, it's not going to work for you until you're level 6. Or if you can take Ignite and fight champs like that. So right now we'd mainly be looking for something top or mid. We wouldn't have wanted to show ourselves here. I know we're annoyed he took our stuff, but we don't necessarily even have lane prio top or mid, and we can't solo him. So this is just, we shouldn't be able to solo him. I don't know how it's turning out this way. Oh, I guess he hasn't backed yet. I didn't realize. I guess that's a good call on your part. You press tab, you have the Sheen advantage. He did no damage. You nearly killed the guy. Your E's still on cooldown. You made the right call pulling off. At this point, I probably would have just W-E'd into him. I wouldn't have flashed. See, like when you flash, you see how like you're already in range to like W auto Q E. So instead, like your E, which is like this big, you're using a very small amount of it. From here, you could have honestly W'd then E'd auto Q. And then save flash for a bigger dash, but so we basically wasted a lot of our potential distance. Flash into the E. You need to auto then Q, my friend. Your Q has more range than your normal auto attack, plus it's an auto resetter. So E, auto Q, and then you can like W auto. Your W's a little dash here. You barely get the kill. At least you got it. You're gonna take the Gromp. You do need to pull off at this point. You don't know where they're at. Take them juicy Raptors. I don't mind. It's very easy to clear once you have your Sheen on Wukong, or once you're level 3 and up, you can take any camp. The toughest camp for Wukong is Raps and Golems, but once you're level 3, they're easy. That's why blue side starts so much better for him. It's just so much better. Taking these, she's perma shove. She is 6 and she's low. I don't like this situation unless you're 6. And you guys are gonna need hill cut. Raven has to use Ignite. Gwen's nasty, dude. Pretend like she's a overpowered version of Warwick. She's a huge self-healer. She's got dashes. She's gross. She makes me sick. I don't like this. Yeah. I mean, once again, you're going to be like, oh, but look at the damage. It's because she doesn't have any items. If she had spent her gold, I don't know why, but she must be sitting on at least like 1200 right now. Yep, what do you know? She's sitting on 1200. I don't want to say you shouldn't have done that, but at the same time, you just showed yourself on the map, and your Riven's going to overstay anyways. I assume she dies here. She's overstaying half health. Like, she's just going to die unless she runs away immediately when she sees Gwen. You going bot lane. Hopefully we are level 6. Damn, dude. That's solid. If you can get level 6 pre-7 minute on Wukong, that's pretty good. Not bad. Level 6, bada boom, let's go use that R. Take the plant. Plant spawns in at like 525, right? Blast cones. 525. They spawn in. Use it. Come in from behind. Hit it from behind. Get a double. You don't need to approach from the front. There we go. Go into the plant. Use the sweeper. You W'd into an E. Yeah, once again, just use auto Q. You didn't even have to R there. Your Q has more range than your auto, so even if you E auto and they're moving fast, E auto Q. It's really easy. Really efficient. We could have saved the R there. This thing gets dragon, not a huge deal. One dragon's not the end of the world. Shove in the wave, take some plates. If your teammates are healthy and they can stay for several plates, it's not necessarily good to stay because you're making it harder. But if they're low and they can only take one plate, just help them take it. If our R was up, we definitely could kill Lee Sin there. It's fine. It's coming behind the Zed. I wouldn't linger too long here. You have time to take rafts before Lee Sin gets there, but I wouldn't linger too long. Looks like Zed's going all in, so you followed in, you W, and I don't think you're fast enough. He has boots and you don't. Once again, very important to press tab every single time you go in for a fight or a gank. Very important. You should just basically be pressing tab many times during the game to check the items. So if here, for example, you would have seen, oh, I don't have boots. He has boots. I can't chase him. So after this part right here, after you can't land the dash, you would have stopped chasing and you would have rationally known you can't get to him. There's absolutely no way. Unless you had flash, obviously. So we're chasing, bada boom, take 2 turret shots. We're kind of low now. I'd probably wrap in the red. Wrap a Rooney, red buff, and a golem. Maybe gank top. Riven has to have ignite though. She's gonna die. Yep, what do you know? Riven's dead. She used her skill shot when Gwen's dash was up like a freaking goofball. Feels bad. Big sad. You're going for the Gwen. She has some items now. She's not only Dorn's Blade, if I had to guess. I mean, you might win it. If she gets on the turret... Oh, she just used her passive. If she has no stack, she doesn't really heal or do any damage. She builds it up pretty fast, though. It's just with, like, auto attacks. She's already back at 3. I think you can take it, though, if you use your auto reset. E... You did it that time. I don't know. Like, you know how to do it, but this is, like, the first time I've seen you do it. You W into E. Auto attack Q reset. Stay on her with your autos, and she's a goner. I don't mind the flash that much. She was so low, I don't think we needed to be honest. I think, oh, look, she spammed your flash. She's real proud of that. I don't think we needed a flash there, to be honest. If she had a full item, if she had Riftmaker, I'd say do the flash. Even if she landed a full passive cycle on you, you were still going to win it. You're pretty fed. Feel free to get early Executioners. Their team has a... If you're going to play top, if you want to keep ganking top, you're going to need Executioners. The moment Gwen gets a Riftmaker, if you don't have Executioners, she's going to kill both of you. So get your Divine Sunder. If they had more healing on their team, like a Soraka or like anything really that heals, Aatrox, but it's fine that you don't have Executioners at this moment. I would go in for the gank, man. Your R's up. They're under your turret. This is free. Unless you think Lee Sin or Zed's here. I'd take it. They want these plates. They're not even going to be looking at their rewards. We don't have to take these. This isn't giving us a level 2 ultimate. We already have our R. We're full health. So maybe you're waiting for the Twitch. I don't know. You might be going the long way around. Yeah, it felt free to me. Felt a little bit free. Going for the wolves now. I don't know why you randomly went to invade their jungle. Their bot lane backed off. You're going in for the invade. That could get weird. Guess you want to kill the... You're feeling strong because you have your full early item power spike. See, there's weird stuff going on over there. I realize he's about to solo die. Nope. Twitch burns R. Alright. So you are playing around top a lot. You like your top laners. You know what? Go ahead and get that Q down, man. The Q is worth getting down. It shreds armor. Even if you don't, if you have your R up and you have enough damage, you don't have to use an auto resetter. You can just E straight into Q then R. But get your Q down first. Your R will do a lot more damage. You still haven't bonked her with your Q. You're missing out on a lot of extra damage. Just at least E into Q then R. If not E. Auto Q reset. She's not a full item though. I don't think you even needed an R. You have full item advantage over her, and she's fighting 1 versus 2. You really don't need R in my opinion. She doesn't have flash either. Like you see her sums, you know what I mean. Got the Herald. Bada boom, bada boom. Let's take that bad boy top. Herald could wipe this turret clean. This is just about the precise amount of health. Like, if it was missing, I think it's 2,200 that it does. So, you need one more auto, and then Herald kills it. Yeah, we'll watch it closely. We'll learn together here. I didn't show it, but I'm pretty sure it's like 2,200. It's 2 plates and a sliver. Not bad. I think it's a little lazy. You guys should have followed it in. Getting off one more big hit, even if it costs you both 5 or 6 seconds, is worth it. Especially since you both showed top, you're just going to assume they're going to take dragon. Like, you're giving it. And that's fine. Giving 2 dragons isn't a big deal. Just don't give them soul. But you might as well push this in with the Riven. You push away too fast. Feel free to push the wave with your teammates. Just don't necessarily try to last hit the minions unless you feel like they're going to specifically miss it. But we should have gotten this last bonk in. I spoke too soon. I don't know how she didn't hit it in the back. Normally, whenever Rift Herald charges up, it exposes its eye. So it's exposed, and then it randomly closed. Yeah, that was weird, man. It's not supposed to work like that. I don't know what happened there. That's very lucky you guys got that next hit off. I try to get in the habit of pushing those all the way in unless you think the enemies are going to converge on you. We got Divine Sunder. I like this full clear. We got the dragon, of course. We go mid. Just don't die. If you don't throw your shutdown, you win the game. I would probably push for Steric's second item. Steric's would be really nice against their team. They're very bursty. Very bursty. You see Gwen's top. You see Blue's coming up. I would try to push into their jungle with their top laner. Your top laner just died to Gwen. Feels bad. She's still not a full item, though. You could definitely push this. Oh, you shouldn't have shown that was newbie. You should just assume she's going to stay because people are noobs, but there's no reason to show there. You should have just like looped around and hope she stayed. There was no rush to push this wave because you're not. This turret's all the way back here, so you weren't going to get a turret, and you were just risking this happening. You see, there's an enemy bot. There's an enemy mid. I would take the Gromp. You ward to get over. That's fine, honestly. Not a big deal. You don't have smite. I don't think you get this. What you would do when you go in this fight, you press tab, you see as Gore Drinker, you don't have much of an item advantage on this guy. You just have a level advantage. Yeah. I don't know. You bonk him real good. Ooh, is he gonna go? He's gonna go in without Gwen, isn't he? He's gonna go in without Gwen. I can feel it. Okay, never mind. I really thought he was going to. You have Ravenous now. That's super greedy. You don't need it. Ravenous is not going to speed up your clears, and for pushing waves, your attack speed off of your E and your E AoE is usually good enough on its own. Ravenous for Wu Jungle isn't really a thing. That's more kind of Wu top, and even then, you really don't need it for clearing your camps whatsoever. You should have gone Sterix 100% or Black Cleaver 100%. Either one, or Chempunk, or just Executioners. But Ravenous, you don't need it, or at least not this early. It's going to be not that great. Ard kind of early. If you don't know if you're going to get the kill, I definitely wouldn't do that. You're in enemy territory. You don't really know where most of them are. Most of them are missing. When he went in here, you already know he's a full item plus plated. R-ing, when he could just boop, boop, pop out with a ward. Wukong R doesn't do that much damage. It's almost more of a support tool. He kind of does more damage when he just stands there and autos, to be honest. So, a bit of a waste of R. It's alright. We didn't die. It's an important thing. Just pull out of that situation. Just farm it up into Dragon. Just make sure you're there for Dragon and make sure you have your R for it. Irelia gets picked again. Since she's picked, we may want to give Dragon and take top and Heb. Just be mentally prepared to give something if you have to. Like here, you shouldn't have gone Golem. You should have just pushed top or something. Or maybe defended mid if Twitch went there. We can't get to that on time. It's gone. We didn't take top, unfortunately. Gwen's way overshoved. I don't mind getting the second Herald. That's not that bad. Just make sure they don't get soul. If they get soul, you guys probably lose. Their late game scaling is really good with the Vayne, Brand, Gwen. Brand's going to give your team a lot of issues. Your team's very short range melee. You're all melee except for Twitch. One Brand R is going to tear you guys up. You probably don't. The worst person the gold could go to is probably the Brand, because he's going to press R and Hourglass and you can't kill him. He's going to W, E, Q, R, Hourglass, W, E, and then die. And he's going to kill your whole team. Or at least he should. Brand's hard to deal with as a full melee team. It's kind of like trying to fight a, not a York, but a Lowy or Darius as a full melee team. It's really, really rough. In the team fights, your main job is to CC multiple people with your R. So cool. Get the double R here. You W into R. That's fine. I don't think you even had to. Like, your WR does do some damage. Like 35% of the normal damage, which isn't bad, but sometimes it can be better to like ER, I don't know, ER then W, R2. Because now you're missing out on that little dash that would help you like WR into her for the second R. So now you had to flash. Because having your clone R on them only did like an extra 100 damage to each of them there. I would just really try to think of your W as a very useful dash, because it is. It's like 2 vein tumbles. Very good. Nice pickup. Taking up a lot of space. This is where Executioners would be really nice to have. Without Executioners, killing Gwen is going to be a pain. Even though she has less items than you, she's actually kind of stronger. You'll see that here in a second. She's got a lot of true damage. You have way more items than her. But, yeah, you're going to need Executioners. Your biggest concern at this point is don't let them get Dragon Soul. Don't let them get Dragon Soul. If they do, you lose. Ooh, you got silence. What happened there? Did you get stunned? I am so confused. Your teammates are constantly... Dude, this game would be so frustrating. Your teammates are constantly forcing fights for no reason. Your teammates are behind. 1-3, 2-4, 1-6. Behind. And they are forcing fights like not even near turrets. That would be so frustrating. So they're dead. Yeah, at this point, you don't have to go in. If you feel like you can 1 versus 3, do it. But don't feel like you have to go in out of obligation for your teammates. They're bad. You don't have to, dude. Don't be a hero. You Ian. I think you got, oh yeah, Lisa and Ard. You Ard. Alright, 2 things. Once again, you need to kind of Q first to make your damage do more. Your Q shreds armor. A lot of armor. I'm pretty sure it's better per level. Yeah, 30% for 30 seconds. That's a lot, dude. That's like an instant full stack Black Cleaver. So here, it should be E, Q, R. EQR. You don't even have to auto reset in a situation this type, but you need to get your Q down. I don't even think you W'd, my guy. That is absolutely tragic. Your W could keep you alive, the invisibility on it, and set up your second R. So this should have been an EQRWR. So you did the R, but then as they start focusing you, you should have W'd into second R, but instead, because your W would help keep you alive because you're invisible, and then your R would obviously knock them up. So that's like basically nearly 2 full seconds of invincibility. Instead, we didn't W, so we missed out on a lot of extra damage, and we didn't survive long enough. If we had done that, I think you lived 100% because you've hit your triumphants, and Irelia would have bada boom, gotten doubles, and obviously W extra damage. So yep, just be disciplined. Make sure you're actually using your abilities. Try to use your Q first after you go in, and then don't forget the WR. And I know it's rough. You're like, for the elo, you've actually been playing decent, like pretty solid, but your team's not playing great. So when you make one rough mistake like that, that's enough to really just throw the game. I'll tell you right now, if they get Dragon Soul, you lose. So we'll see. If they get it, I'm just gonna say you lose. So you go in, you E, you don't Q again, just EQ R. If it's earlier game with less people, it's E auto Q R. So you About to get the kill. You drop R again. I don't know if you red smited. I don't think you did, to be honest. You're gonna have it. You gotta use it, my friend. Push those buttons. Red smite might have made the diffy. Ooh, you even did it and you died. I guess Lee Sin, our base damage is just way too high. They keep buffing him. Everything about Lee Sin. That's why he's a viable top and mid laner. Honestly, a viable support too. They just keep buffing his base damage. That's nuts. Finally got your stare because you still don't have executioners. You desperately need it. Lee Sin's got a lot of self heals with Gore Drinker. Vayne's gonna heal, and obviously the Gwen as well. Now they have Dragon Soul. You lose. Game's over. Not to be a morbid Mary, but if you guys are already struggling, well, now we got Soul. Obviously, you play it out just in case someone on the enemy team throws. It's tough. I'd say most of the game came down to this fight, and there's a few other fights where we used our R. We didn't necessarily need to. Going with an ER. I'm going to slow this fight down. There's way too much happening there. If they have hard CC, like just point and click nonsense like Lee Sin R, right when you go in with an E, feel free to W then R. Or ER, cancel your R as they're coming out of the knockup, WR. You can cancel your R early. You can ER cancel WR to try to like take up space, take aggro, and not actually get CC'd. Almost think of your W like a Morgana Black Shield or a Sivir Shield or a Hourglass. Think of it like a negation tool. Unless they have True Vision on you, in which case it doesn't work. So you immediately EW'd Flash. In this case, yeah, I don't know. You just went really ham. You don't really have teammates with you though. You're kind of just fighting like 2 versus 3. So I'd say here you're just forcing. I don't know why Rel split pushing. That's bad. Raven split pushing. Yeah, I guess that's fine. But you're fighting 2v3 here, my guy, against Dragon Soul. After you eat in, I don't know why you didn't just press R. I guess you were trying to dodge his stun, but he ended up just stunning you anyways. I'm not going to stress the mechanics on this specific fight too much. I just say there's no point of going in 2 versus 3 or 2 versus 4 like that. That was a really big throw. And I'm saying that from you're carrying your team. Like you have the opportunity to carry them and you're not taking it, unfortunately. Unfortunate. You got to be disciplined. You can't go in like that. The enemies aren't really behind. If they have more kills in your team, even if you're fed, I mean, they're fed too, you know? Like if you were 20, if you had like 9 kills and they had collectively 9 kills, and that's a different story. On Wukong, you could kind of go in 1 versus 3 and win. But Gwen's not here. Let's see how this shakes out. I'd go kill the Gwen solo, to be honest. These fights aren't panning out because of the brand. Yep, you're going for the Gwen. You don't have Executioner, so I'll tell you right now, she wins. She 100% wins this. R's going to do no damage. She's going to heal off you, and she's going to be full health. Yep. That's right. Gwen's gross, dude. She beats all melee champs. She's kind of like fighting a Nasus late game. Yeah. I'll sum this game up to an overly aggressive clear route. The 3 camp clear cheese, I didn't like it. You could have lost all 3 of your camps if Lee Sin was better. Preferably start blue side, 5 camp into gank scuttle. I would also say if you don't need to use your R in a gank, like if you have more items in them and you know you can get the kill without your R, don't waste your R, because then you can use it in a different situation. Other than that, obviously don't engage 2v3 or 2v4 if the enemies aren't behind like that. That fight mid was rough. And if you're going to combo on Wukong, you need to Q before you R generally, or Q before you do too much, because your Q shreds armor. You really want to get that Q down. So it's generally, if it's early mid game, if there's not a super important rush on pressing R, it's E auto Q. If it's in the late game and you have to like get your R down quick before you get CC'd, then it's just EQ auto. I'm sorry, it's just EQR, like EQR into WR type of thing. But other than that, not bad, man. Well played. I could definitely see you climbing. Good luck out there, my guy.